Olivia Mason lived in a small house in Montana. She loved plants and spent most of her time in the garden her grandmother had started many years ago. She had studied plants in college and now worked from home, writing about the plants she grew. One night, the news said there would be falling stars. Olivia stayed up late to watch them. She sat on her porch with a cup of tea and looked up at the dark sky. The stars were bright and clear in the country air. Then she saw it. A light that was too big and too bright to be a falling star. It moved in a way that stars should not move. Olivia watched as it came closer and closer. The light grew so bright that she had to cover her eyes. There was a loud crash from the field behind her house. The ground shook. Olivia's cup fell and broke on the wooden porch. She stood up, her heart beating fast. Should she call someone? The police? The army? She thought about it, but felt a strange pull toward the crash site. She had to see what it was. Olivia went into her house and grabbed a flashlight. She put on her boots and a jacket. The night was cool and her hands shook as she walked toward the field. The crash had left a long, deep cut in the earth. At the end of this path was something Olivia had never seen before. It was not a meteor or a plane. It was a ship about the size of a small house. Its surface was smooth and shiny, changing colors like oil on water. Steam rose from it into the night air. Olivia stood at a safe distance, not sure what to do. The ship had no marks, no windows that she could see. She thought again about calling someone, but before she could decide, a part of the ship began to move. A door that had been hidden in the smooth surface slid open. Light poured out, bright and blue. Olivia took a step back, ready to run. A figure stepped out of the light. Olivia's mouth fell open. It was not human. The being stood much taller than Olivia, maybe 7 feet high. It had a woman-like shape, but with 4 arms instead of 2. Its skin was like the inside of a seashell, shiny and changing colors. The being's face was almost human, but more beautiful, with high cheeks and a strong jaw. Its eyes were large and dark, like deep pools of oil that caught the light. Around its head, what looked like hair moved on its own, glowing with soft blue light. Olivia could not move. She could not speak. The being looked at her with those strange eyes, and Olivia felt like it was looking into her very soul. Then the being spoke. Its voice was like music, like bells ringing far away. "I am Seraphine, queen of the Vexalian Empire." The words made no sense to Olivia, but somehow she understood them. This was a queen from another world. A real alien standing in her grandmother's field. I'm Olivia, she said, her voice small and shaky. Olivia Mason. The queen took a step toward her. Olivia thought about running, but found she was not afraid. There was something about this queen that made Olivia feel safe, even though everything about this was strange and new. "Your world is not known to us," the queen said. "I did not mean to land here. My ship was damaged in a battle." "A battle?" Olivia asked. "Are you at war?" "For 300 years we have fought the Crack's dominion," the queen said. Her voice was sad now. "I was on a small ship away from my fleet when they found me. I had to run. My ship was hit. I had to land or die." Olivia looked at the ship. Now she could see the damage on one side, a dark spot that did not shine like the rest. "Can I help?" Olivia asked. She did not know why she offered. What could she, a simple plant expert, do to help an alien queen? The queen seemed surprised by the offer. "You would help me? You do not know me or my people." Olivia thought about it. "My grandmother always said to be kind to those in need. It doesn't matter where you're from." The queen was quiet for a moment. Then she said, "Your grandmother was wise." Olivia did not know what to say next. She felt she should offer something, do something to show she meant what she said. She looked down and saw that she was still wearing the small purple flower she had put behind her ear earlier that day. A simple violet from her garden. Without thinking too much about it, Olivia took the flower and held it out to the queen. "Here," she said. "This is for you. It's not much, but it's pretty and it smells nice." The queen's eyes grew wide. Her moving, glowing hair became brighter. She reached out with one of her 4 hands, her fingers long and thin, and took the flower very gently. "You offer me a living plant?" the queen asked, her voice full of wonder. "Yes," Olivia said, not sure why this was so important. "It's a violet. From my garden." The queen looked at the small purple flower for a long time. Then she looked at Olivia with new eyes, as if seeing her for the first time. "In my culture," the queen said slowly, "to offer living plants to royalty is the highest honor. It is a sign of deep respect and loyalty. It means you offer not just the plant but the soil it grew in. the water that fed it, the care you gave it. It is an offer of life itself." Olivia did not know what to say. She had not meant all that. She had just given a flower because it seemed like the right thing to do. The queen held the violet carefully in her palm. "I must honor such a gift in the way of my people," she said. Then she put her other hand on Olivia's shoulder. "I name you Zarathavel, which means honored one who gives life. In your words, it would mean royal consort." "Consort?" Olivia said, not sure what this meant. "Like a wife?" "More than a wife," the queen said. "A partner in all things. One who stands beside the ruler and shares in their power and duty." Before Olivia could say anything else, there was a sound from above. She looked up to see 3 more ships larger than the first coming down from the night sky. "My people have found me," the queen said. "They come to help." She looked at Olivia. "Will you come with me? There is much I can show you, Zarathavel." Olivia looked at her small house, at the garden she had worked so hard on. Then she looked at the queen and the ships coming down from the stars. "Yes," she said, "I will come with you." And with those words, Olivia Mason's life as a simple plant expert from Montana came to an end. A new life among the stars was about to begin. 2 months had passed since Olivia left Earth. She now lived on a giant ship called the Celestial Dominion. It was as big as a city, with thousands of Vexalians living and working inside it. Olivia had her own rooms next to Queen Seraphine's. The rooms were beautiful, with walls that seemed alive, changing colors with her mood. Olivia stood next to Queen Seraphine in the grand meeting room. Many important Vexalians were there, all with forearms and skin that shone like shells. Their hair-like tendrils moved and glowed with different colors. Olivia had learned that these colors showed their feelings. Blue for calm, purple for worry, red for anger, gold for happiness. Olivia felt out of place. She wore special clothes that the Vexalians had made for her. The fabric was alive like the walls, and it changed colors too. Right now it was purple, showing how nervous she felt. Commander Nix, the Queen's top soldier, was talking. She did not like Olivia. "The human cannot be trusted," she said, looking at Olivia with cold eyes. "Earth has not taken sides in our war with the cracks. For all we know, she could be a spy." Olivia wanted to speak up to say she was not a spy, but she had learned it was not her place to talk in these meetings. She was still learning the rules of the Vexalian court. Queen Seraphine's tendrils flashed bright blue, a sign she was angry. The room went quiet. "Zarathavel offered me life when she had no reason to trust me," the queen said. Her voice was hard. "She has shown more honor than many born to our ways." Commander Nix lowered her head. "Yes, my queen. I meant no disrespect." The meeting went on, with talk of ships and battles and planets Olivia had never heard of. She tried to follow, but much of it was new to her. Later, Olivia and Seraphine were alone in the queen's private garden. It was full of plants from many worlds, all growing under light that looked like sunlight but came from the ship itself. "I am sorry for Nix's words," Seraphine said. She sat on a bench made of living wood. "She fears what she does not understand." "It's okay," Olivia said. "I would be careful too if I were her." She touched a plant with leaves like stars. "It's a lot to take in. Your world, your war. Sometimes I wonder why you really brought me here." Seraphine was quiet for a moment. At first, it was because of the flower. In our culture, such a gift must be honored. But now, she looked at Olivia with her deep, dark eyes. "Now I am glad you are here because you see things differently. You ask questions that my people would never ask." "Like what?" Olivia asked. "Like why we fight this war at all," Seraphine said. Her voice was sad. 300 years of fighting the cracks, so many dead, so many worlds burned. And for what? More land, more power? These questions haunt me at night. Olivia had never heard the queen talk like this before. Seraphine always seemed so strong, so sure. Now she sounded tired and sad. "In my world," Olivia said, "we have a saying. War does not decide who is right, only who is left." Seraphine looked at her. "Your people are wise, even if they are young." "Not always," Olivia said. "We've had our share of wars, too." They were quiet for a while, looking at the plants. Olivia thought about her garden back home. She missed the feel of earth soil in her hands. "I have been thinking," Seraphine said at last. "Your knowledge of plants could be useful to us. Many worlds have been hurt by cracks weapons. The soil is poisoned. Nothing grows. If you could help..." "I would like that," Olivia said. "I'm a botanist. That's what I studied on Earth." If I can help heal planets, I want to try. Seraphine smiled. It was a rare sight. Then we shall make it so. She stood up. Come, there is something I want to show you. She led Olivia to a part of the ship she had never seen before. It was a large room with many tables. On each table were different soils and plants. Vexalians worked here testing and growing. This is where we try to save what we can, Seraphine said. Each time the cracks destroy a world, we collect samples. We try to find ways to make things grow again. Olivia walked among the tables, looking at the plants and soils. She could see that some were sick, some were barely growing. Her mind was already working, thinking of ways to help. I can work here? She asked. Yes, Seraphine said. You will have your own team. Whatever you need, you shall have. Olivia felt a surge of joy. This was something she could do, something that mattered. Thank you, she said. I won't let you down. Just then, a Vexalian rushed into the room. It was Admiral Pax, another of the Queen's top people. His tendrils were bright red. My Queen, he said, bowing quickly. News from Lumina. The Cracks fleet has been seen near the moon. They may attack soon. Seraphine's face changed. The softness Olivia had seen was gone, replaced by the hard look of a ruler at war. How many ships? At least 30, Pax said. Our forces there are not enough. Then we must send more, Seraphine said. She turned to go, already giving orders to Pax about ships and soldiers. Olivia watched her go, feeling the weight of the Queen's burden. Without thinking, she reached out and took Seraphine's lower right hand. It was not something she should do in front of others. She had been told that touching the Queen in public was not allowed. There were gasps from Pax and the other Vexalians in the room. But Seraphine did not pull away. Instead, she squeezed Olivia's hand just for a moment. Then she let go and left the room with Pax. One of the Vexalian scientists came to Olivia's side. You should not have done that, she said, but she did not sound angry. But I think the Queen needed it. Will they be okay? Olivia asked. The people on Lumina. The scientist's tendrils turned a sad purple. I do not know. The cracks are strong and they do not show mercy. Olivia looked at the plants on the tables. Life growing even after so much death, it gave her hope. Then we must work harder, she said, to heal what the cracks destroy. The scientist looked at her with new respect. Yes, Sir Athabel. We must. That night, Olivia stood at the window in her room looking out at the stars. Somewhere out there, the Queen was making hard choices, sending ships to fight. Somewhere, people would die. Olivia thought of the simple violet she had given the Queen. Such a small thing, to change her life so much. She did not know if she could help end this war, but she knew she could help heal what was broken. And maybe, just maybe, that was a start. The moon of Thesia was one of the most beautiful places Olivia had ever seen. It orbited a large gas giant, and the sky was never dark. The giant planet filled much of the view, its swirling clouds of gold and red always moving, always changing. Olivia knelt in the soil of Thesia, planting small purple flowers. These were special flowers. She had made them by mixing earth violets with glowing Vexalian plants. The flowers had the shape and smell of violets, but they glowed softly in the dark, like tiny stars. Those are beautiful, said Lyra, an old Vexalian who worked with Olivia. Lyra's skin had faded with age and her tendrils moved slowly now, but her eyes were still sharp and bright. The Queen was right about you. You have a gift. Thank you, Olivia said, patting the soil around the last flower. I just hope they will grow well here. Lyra sat on a stone bench nearby. They will. I have seen how your plants take to new soils. It is as if they want to please you, Olivia smiled. She had been on Thesia for 3 weeks now. After the battle at Lumina, which the Vexalians had won but at great cost, Queen Seraphine had sent her here to work on the Gardens of Remembrance. The gardens were a Vexalian tradition. They planted gardens to honor those who died in war. Each plant came from the home world of a fallen soldier. It was Olivia's job to make sure the earth plants grew well here, and to create new plants that would honor the dead in special ways. I still don't understand why the Queen chose me, Olivia said. She had said this many times, but she still wondered. Lyra's tendrils dimmed, a sign of deep thought. Our people believe that true strength lies in nurturing life, not taking it. For centuries, this war has forced us to become what we hate. Then you appeared with your simple flower, reminding our Queen of what we fight to protect. Olivia thought about this as she washed her hands in a nearby stream. The water on Thesia was very clear and a little sweet. She had learned that many things were different on each world she visited. The air, the light, the soil. But plants could grow in most places if you knew how to help them. As she dried her hands, Olivia noticed someone watching from the edge of the garden. It was a human man. He wore the uniform of Earth's new space group, the Interstellar Diplomatic Corps. Olivia had heard that a human ship had arrived at Thesia 3 days ago, but this was the first time she had seen anyone from it. "Who is that?" she asked Lyra. Lyra looked over. "Captain Rowan, I believe. He came with a message for you, but he has not yet given it." Olivia felt a mix of joy and worry. News from Earth. But why had this Captain Rowan waited 3 days to talk to her? That evening, as Olivia sat in her rooms looking over plant charts, there was a knock at her door. When she opened it, Captain Rowan stood there. He was tall and thin, with short brown hair and a serious face. "Ms. Mason," he said, giving a small bow. "I'm Captain Steve Rowan, Earth Diplomatic Corps. May I come in?" Olivia let him in. Her rooms on Thesia were simple but nice, with large windows that looked out at the gas giant. "What brings you here, Captain?" she asked. "News from home?" "In a way," Rowan said. He did not sit down even when Olivia offered him a chair. "Ms. Mason, you need to come home with us. Earth is now talking with both the Vex aliens and the Cracks. Your position with the Queen is making things hard." Olivia felt cold. "What do you mean? How is my being here a problem?" Rowan's face was hard. "Earth needs to stay neutral in this war. But you are now called the Queen's consort. That makes it look like Earth has taken the Vexalian side." "I didn't ask for that title," Olivia said. "It was given to me because I gave the Queen a flower. I didn't know what it meant at the time." "That may be," Rowan said. "But the fact remains your presence here is a problem for Earth's talks with both sides." Olivia thought about this. She had not considered how her staying with the Vexalians might look to Earth or to the Cracks. She had been too busy learning and working. "What aren't you telling me?" she asked, looking hard at Rowan. Rowan's face changed. He looked worried now. "Ms. Mason, we have learned that the Cracks have plans to kill you. They think that if the Queen's human consort dies, it will hurt her deeply. You have become a target." Olivia sat down hard on her bed. A target? The Cracks wanted to kill her? It seemed unreal. She was just a botanist from Montana. How had her life become this? "Does the Queen know?" she asked. "No," Rowan said. "At least we have not told her. That's why you need to come with us. We can protect you on Earth." Olivia looked out the window at the giant planet. She thought about Queen Seraphine, about the work she was doing here, about the Vexalians she had met who had come to trust her. Could she just leave them? "I need to think about this," she said. Rowan nodded. "We leave in 2 days. Please be ready." He turned to go, then stopped. "Ms. Mason, I know you've come to care for these aliens, but your first duty is to Earth." After he left, Olivia could not sleep. She walked in the gardens, thinking about what Rowan had said. The glowing flowers she had planted lit her way, their soft light like stars fallen to the ground. What Olivia did not know was that Queen Seraphine had put watching devices in all rooms where humans stayed. She did this not out of distrust, but out of care. She wanted to be sure her human friends were safe and had what they needed. So when Captain Rowan told Olivia about the Cracks plan, the Queen heard it too. And by morning she had made a plan of her own. Olivia was eating breakfast when a Vexalian guard came to her door. "Zarathavel," the guard said, using Olivia's Vexalian name. "The Queen asks that you come to the landing field. She has arrived." Olivia was surprised. She had not known the Queen was coming to Thesia. She followed the guard to the large open space where ships landed. The Queen's ship was there, shining in the light of the gas giant. It was smaller than the Celestial Dominion, but still very big. As Olivia watched, a door opened and Queen Seraphine came out, followed by Commander Nix and other Vexalians Olivia knew from the court. The Queen saw Olivia and came straight to her. "Zarathvel," she said, her voice warm. "I am glad to see you well." "My Queen," Olivia said, bowing as she had been taught. "I did not know you were coming." "It was a sudden choice," the Queen said. She looked at the gardens behind Olivia. "Your work here is beautiful. The flowers you have made bring much comfort to those who have lost loved ones." "Thank you," Olivia said. She felt there was more the Queen wanted to say. Seraphine turned to the Vexalians with her. "Leave us," she said. "I would speak with Zarathavel alone." When they were gone, Seraphine's face grew serious. "I know of the Cracks' plan to harm you," she said. And I know Earth has asked you to go home. Olivia was shocked. How did you? It does not matter, Seraphine said. What matters is that you are in danger. I have doubled the guards around you. No cracks will get close to you. Olivia felt touched by the Queen's care. Thank you, she said. But maybe Captain Rowan is right. Maybe I should go back to Earth, at least for a while. Seraphine's tendrils darkened. Is that what you want? To leave? Olivia did not know what to say. Did she want to leave? To go back to her small house, her simple life? After all she had seen, all she had learned? No, she said at last. I don't want to leave, but I don't want to cause problems for Earth or for you. The Queen took Olivia's hands in two of her own. You have not caused problems. You have brought new ideas, new hope. The cracks fear this. That is why they want to harm you. What should I do? Olivia asked. The Queen looked out over the gardens at the glowing flowers Olivia had planted. I have a plan, she said. One that may end this war or make it much worse. But I need your help. What kind of plan? Olivia asked. A peace talk, Seraphine said. With the cracks and with Earth in a neutral place. Olivia was surprised. You want peace? After 300 years of war? Seraphine looked sad. I am tired of death, Zarathville. Tired of sending my people to die. Tired of planets burned and lives lost. If there is a chance for peace, I must try. Olivia squeezed the Queen's hands. Then I will help you, she said. Whatever you need. The Queen smiled, a rare and beautiful sight. Thank you, she said. The talks will be held at a space station called Harmony. We leave tomorrow. As they walked back to the gardens, Olivia felt a mix of hope and fear. Peace would be good. But the cracks wanted her dead. And Captain Rowan would not be happy that she had chosen to stay with the Queen. Tomorrow would bring a new world, new dangers, and maybe, just maybe, a chance to end a war that had gone on far too long. Space Station Harmony was a big ring in space around a star called Epsilon Indi. The station was built by a race that had died out long ago. Now it was used for meetings between different alien groups. The ring shape was a symbol of peace that never ends. Olivia stood next to Queen Seraphine in the main meeting hall. The Queen wore special armor that showed she was ready for war but also open to peace. Olivia wore a dress made of the living cloth that changed colors with her feelings. Right now it was a mix of blue and gold, showing both her calm and her hope. The Earth team had arrived first. Captain Rowan was there, looking upset that Olivia had not left with him. The Earth leader was a woman named Dr. Fiona Walsh. She was tall and had gray hair and kind eyes. She was trying to stay friendly with both the Vex aliens and the cracks. The cracks came in last. Olivia saw them for the first time and felt fear run through her. They were bigger than humans or Vex aliens with hard shells like copper-colored armor. Their eyes were made up of many small parts like insect eyes and showed nothing of what they were thinking. The cracks leader was called Warlord Zenith. He walked up to Seraphine and Olivia with his group. The Queen brings her pet to talks, he said in a deep, rough voice. How sweet. Olivia felt Seraphine tense beside her, but the Queen's face showed nothing. Warlord Zenith, she said with a small bow. Thank you for coming. The talks began in a big round room with a table in the middle. Each group sat in their own part of the circle. Dr. Walsh sat between the Vex aliens and the cracks, trying to be in the middle. For hours they talked about old fights, planets destroyed, people lost. The Vex aliens said the cracks had started the war by attacking their worlds. The cracks said the Vex aliens had taken land that was theirs. Each side blamed the other for all the bad things that had happened. Dr. Walsh tried to find things they could agree on, but it was hard. The hate between the two sides was too deep, too old. We need a break, Dr. Walsh said at last, looking tired. Let's meet again in 2 hours. During the break, Olivia walked to the station's garden room. It was a place where plants from many worlds grew together. The walls were clear so she could see the stars outside. It made her feel small and big at the same time. As she looked at a plant she had never seen before, a low voice behind her said, You find our plants interesting, human? Olivia turned to see a crack standing there. This one was smaller than Warlord Zenith, and its shell was lighter in color. It had marks on its shell that might have been writing. I'm a botanist, Olivia said, trying to hide her fear. I study plants. All plants interest me. The cracks came closer. I am Helios, it said. I study plants too, but for their use in medicine. Olivia was surprised. She had thought of the cracks only as fighters, as the enemy. She had not thought they might have scientists too. This is from our homeworld, Helios said, pointing to the plant Olivia had been looking at. It had thick leaves and small red flowers. It grows in very poor soil where nothing else can live. It's beautiful, Olivia said, and she meant it. How does it survive in poor soil? It makes its own food from the air, Helios said. It needs very little from the ground. They talked about plants for a while. Olivia found that Helios knew a lot and she began to relax. Then Helios said something that made her stop. Your queen thinks we are monsters, Helios said, its voice flat. What she doesn't understand is that we fight for our lives. Our son is dying. We take what we must to live. Olivia stared at the cracks. Your son is dying. That's why you take other worlds? Yes, Helios said. In 500 years, our homeworld will be too cold for life. We must find new homes for our people. Olivia felt a rush of understanding. The cracks were not evil. They were desperate. Why didn't you ask for help? She said. Why make war? Helios's shell seemed to shift, maybe a crack shrug. Pride, fear, it is not our way to ask. It is our way to take. Before Olivia could say more, Captain Rowan came into the garden room. Ms. Mason, he said, his voice hard. The talks are starting again. You should not be alone with the cracks. Helios moved away. We will speak again, plant human, it said, then left. Rowan looked at Olivia with worry. Be careful, he said. The cracks cannot be trusted. Olivia thought about what Helios had told her. Maybe there's more to them than we know, she said. Back in the meeting room, the talks went on, still with no progress. Olivia watched Warlord Zenith thinking about what Helios had said. She looked at Queen Seraphine, who seemed tired and sad. When there was a moment when no one was talking, Olivia leaned over to the Queen. I need to tell you something, she said in a low voice. About the cracks. Before she could say more, a loud sound filled the room. It was an alarm. A voice came from speakers on the walls. Warning. Danger. All people must leave the station now. Warning. Danger. People began to stand up, to move. The Vexalians gathered around their queen. The cracks moved together in a tight group. The Earth people looked scared and confused. What's happening? Olivia asked, feeling fear rise in her. Someone has put bombs on the station, a Vexalian guard said. We must get the queen to safety. They began to move toward the door, but then there was a loud boom. The floor shook. The lights went out, then came back on, but they were dim and red now. This way, my queen, the guard said, pointing to a different door. They moved fast through the halls of the station. Olivia could hear more booms, more shaking. People were running all around them. Some were hurt. There was smoke in some halls. Then there was a very loud boom very close. The wall next to them broke open. Air began to rush out. The guard hit a button on the wall, and a clear wall fell down, stopping the air from leaving. But the clear wall had cut the hall in two. Olivia was on one side with some cracks. The queen and the guards were on the other side. Olivia, the queen shouted, her voice muffled by the clear wall. Stay there! We'll find another way to you. Before Olivia could answer, more of the station broke. The floor under the queen and the guards fell away. They dropped out of sight. Seraphine, Olivia screamed, pressing her hands against the clear wall. But the queen was gone. Olivia turned to see who was with her. There were 3 cracks, one was Warlord Zenith. You, Zenith said, looking at Olivia. The queen's pet. Now you are trapped with us. Olivia felt cold fear. The cracks wanted to kill her, and now she was alone with them in a broken part of the station. Another boom shook the station. The lights went out again, and this time they did not come back on. In the dark, Olivia heard the cracks moving. She pressed herself against the wall, trying to be small, trying to hide. A light came on. It was from a small device that one of the cracks held. In its weak light, Olivia could see Zenith looking at her. This part of the station is breaking, Zenith said. The air is going away. Soon we will all die. Olivia's mind raced. She did not want to die here in the dark with no air. There must be a way out, she said. A way to fix the station. Why would we help you? Zenith asked. Your death will make the war go on. My people will say the queen killed me. Her people will say the same about her. Olivia thought about this. If both leaders died, each side would blame the other. The war would get worse. Or, she said, we could all live and tell the truth. That someone else did this. Someone who wants the war to go on. The third crack spoke. She is right, Warlord. This was not the queen's doing. The bombs were not Vexalian. I can tell by how they sound. Zenith was quiet for a moment. Perhaps, he said at last. But how do we live? The air's going away. This part of the station will break off soon. Olivia looked around. She saw a panel on the wall with writing she did not know. What does that say? She asked, pointing. One of the cracks looked. It says air control, it said. Olivia went to the panel. Can we use this to get more air in here? To hold until help comes? The cracks named Helios joined her. Maybe, it said. Let me see. Helios worked on the panel. The air began to feel thin. Olivia found it hard to breathe. Her head hurt, but she kept thinking, kept trying to find a way out. There, Helios said. I have made air come from other parts of the station. It will give us more time. The air felt better, but Olivia knew it was just a short fix. They needed real help. Is there a way to call for help? She asked. To let people know we're here? Zenith pointed to another panel. That is for sending messages, he said. But it needs power. Olivia looked at the small light the cracks held. Can we use the power from that? She asked. Helios looked thoughtful. Maybe, it said. Let me try. For the next hour they worked together, human and cracks, trying to stay alive, trying to call for help. Olivia learned that the cracks were smart and good with machines. They found ways to make things work that she would not have thought of. And as they worked, they talked. Zenith told Olivia more about the cracks, about their dying sun, about their need for new homes. Olivia told him about Earth, about how humans had almost ruined their own world but had found ways to save it. Your people learned to fix their world? Zenith asked. To make a dying planet live again? Yes, Olivia said. It took time and work, but we did it. Maybe we could help you do the same. Zenith was quiet. Maybe, he said at last. If we live through this. Just then there was a noise from the wall. A red-hot line appeared in the metal. It moved in a circle, cutting through the wall. The emergency wall had sealed Olivia and Warlord Zenith in a part of Harmony Station that was breaking. Outside, both Vex alien and crack ships were ready to blame each other for what they thought was an attack on their leaders. Your death will make sure this war goes on, Zenith said, his hard shell gleaming in the low light. My people will say the Queen killed me. Her people will say the same about you. Olivia went to the control panel on the wall. She had learned a lot about space tech in her time with the Vex aliens. Or we could both live and tell the truth, she said, working on the panel. Olivia found a way to move air from empty parts of the station to where they were. It gave them more time to breathe. Then she and Zenith worked on a way to call for help. For 3 tense hours, human and cracks worked together to stay alive. As they worked, they talked. Zenith told Olivia more about why the cracks fought. Our sun is dying, he said. In 500 years, our home world will be too cold for life. We must find new homes, and why didn't you ask for help? Olivia asked. Why make war? Pride, Zenith said. Fear. It is easier to be seen as the bad one than to ask for help. When rescue finally came, it was Queen Seraphine herself who cut through the wall. She reached for Olivia with all 4 arms, pulling her to safety. But when the Queen saw Zenith, her face grew hard. You, she said. Did you harm her? No, Olivia said quickly. He helped me. We worked together. And Seraphine, there's something you need to know about the cracks, about why they fight. Later, on the fixed part of the station, Olivia told Seraphine what she had learned. The Queen listened with growing surprise. If this is true, Seraphine said, why didn't they ask for help? We could have found a way without war. Pride, Olivia said. The same pride that keeps the war going now. Someone tried to kill both you and Zenith today. Someone who wants the war to go on. Seraphine thought about this. A group within the cracks, perhaps. Or within my own people. There are those who have known only war, who fear peace. 2 weeks later, the Harmony Station was fixed. The 3 groups came back. This time they met with new understanding. The bombs were the work of a small group, Dr. Walsh said. They have been found and stopped. They wanted the war to go on because they made money from it. Seraphine and Zenith sat across from each other. The hate was still there, but now there was something else too. Small seed of understanding. For 300 years we have fought, Seraphine said. Millions have died. Worlds have burned. And for what? A problem that we could have solved together. It is not easy to ask for help, Zenith said. It is not the cracks way. Maybe it's time for new ways, Olivia said. She had been quiet until now, letting the leaders talk. Earth was once like your world, Zenith. We nearly ruined it. But we found ways to fix it. We can help you do the same. Dr. Walsh nodded. Earth can provide ships to move cracks people. We have ways to make new worlds fit for life. And the Vexalians, Seraphine said, have the skill to make stars burn longer. We could help save your son, Zenith. It would take time, but it could be done. Zenith was quiet for a long time. Then he said, "What would you ask in return?" "Peace," Seraphine said. "A real lasting peace. A return of the worlds you have taken, and a promise to work together from now on." More talks followed. Hard talks with raised voices and old hurts brought up again and again. But in the end, a deal was made. It was called the Violet Accord, named after the small flower that had started it all. Earth would give ships and tech to help move Crack's people. The Vexalians would share their star-fixing skills to help the Crack's sun last longer, and the Cracks would give back the worlds they had taken and share their rock-digging skills with the others. At the signing, Olivia wore a crown of the special violet-like flowers she had made. They glowed with the same blue light as Seraphine's tendrils. The Queen put her hand on Olivia's shoulder as she spoke to the crowd. "A simple flower taught us what 300 years of war could not," she said. "That life in all its forms grows better when we help it, not when we try to own it. Today we choose to grow together." Later, in their private rooms on the Celestial Dominion, Seraphine took off her royal clothes. She knelt before Olivia, holding out all 4 hands with the palms up. Olivia had learned that this was the Vexalian way of showing complete trust. "My people thought I chose you for political reasons," Seraphine said, her voice soft. "But I chose you because you saw beauty where others saw only something strange and scary. You offered life when you could have shown fear. You reminded me who we were before war changed us." Olivia took the Queen's hands in her own. "I gave you a flower because it was the only gift I had," she said. "I didn't know it would change everything." "The smallest seeds can grow into the largest trees," Seraphine said. "The smallest acts of kindness can end the longest wars." Around them, the walls of the ship seemed to pulse with new life. The living material that made up the ship was changing. Small violet flowers were growing from it, their soft glow filling the room with gentle light. "What's happening?" Olivia asked, looking at the flowers. "The ship feels your presence," Seraphine said. "It knows you bring life. It responds." Olivia touched one of the flowers growing from the wall. It was warm and soft, like touching a small animal. "Will they grow all over the ship?" "If you want them to," Seraphine said. "The ship is alive in its way. It can change." Olivia thought about how much her own life had changed since that night in Montana when a ship fell from the sky. She had given a small gift, not knowing what it meant. Now she was helping to end a war that had gone on for 300 years. "What happens now?" she asked. "With the peace, I mean." "Now comes the hard part," Seraphine said. "Making peace last. Healing worlds that have known only war. Learning to trust those we called enemies for so long." "Will it work?" Olivia asked. "The Violet Accord?" "I don't know," Seraphine said honestly. "But I have hope. And hope is something I had lost until you came." Olivia looked out the window at the stars. Somewhere out there was Earth, her first home. Somewhere else was the Cracks world with its dying sun. And here, on this living ship, was a new kind of home she had never expected to find. "I want to help," she said. "With the healing. It's what I do best." "I know," Seraphine said. "That's why you're the perfect consort for a queen who has known too much death and too little life." The next day, they began planning for the future. Earth ships would start moving some Cracks to new worlds. Vexalian star experts would go to the Crack sun to see how to make it burn longer. And Olivia would lead a team to heal planets that had been hurt by war. It would not be easy. There would be setbacks, arguments, old hates that would not die quickly. But there would also be new growth, new understanding, new ways of living together. As the Celestial Dominion moved through space toward the first world they would try to heal, Olivia stood at the window watching the stars. She held a small violet in her hand, a simple flower from Earth that had changed the fate of 3 civilizations. She thought about the garden her grandmother had started, how it had grown and changed over the years, how it had taught her that life always finds a way if given a chance. Now she would help give that chance to worlds far from home. Behind her, Queen Seraphine was talking with Earth and Cracks leaders on a screen, working out details of the peace. There was much to do, many problems to solve. But for the first time in 300 years, there was also hope. Olivia looked at the small violet in her hand, then placed it in a small pot of soil she had brought from Earth. She would plant it on the first world they healed, a symbol of the new beginning. Sometimes the smallest things could change everything. A flower, a kind act, a willingness to see beyond fear to the beauty that waited on the other side. Olivia Mason, once a simple botanist from Montana, now Zarethville, consort to a queen of the stars, smiled as the violet glowed softly in her hand. The future was as vast as space itself, full of unknown dangers and wonders. But they would face it together, growing toward the light one small step at a time.